In a world filled with impossibilities, you're about to hear a story of how ISF is igniting possibilities in the life of young people with lived experience in foster care.
I wake up and I try to get to the gym. Then I come home and I wake up my daughter for school, and I have to leave a little earlier than her because it starts later and I start work earlier, and my commute's about 30 miles, so about an hour drive. Yeah, pretty much that's the day. So when I was born, my parents unfortunately struggled with drug abuse, so me and my siblings entered foster care pretty early on. And then so we bounced around a bit until we were eventually all adopted. So when I was adopted at 5, I was adopted along with my 2 biological siblings and another set of siblings, and it really seemed like this was going to be it. You know, we were going to get our family. And while originally it was fine, it just kind of slowly progressed into a very abusive situation. And I think what was difficult, it wasn't like they had adopted me when I was a baby. I was 5, so I knew that they weren't my parents. So it felt very weird, very bizarre to have someone take you in just to start abusing you. At 13, I ran away, wasn't really enrolled in school, had to, find places to stay, and my option at the time, it was 2008, there had been homes built during the recession that, were empty. So I would sneak into those houses and sleep in the bathtubs if I didn't have a couch to stay on that night. So it was very scary. So when I was 16, I was back in foster care. I was living in a foster home in LA, and I found out I was pregnant. And while, in any other situation, this would have been very, very scary for anyone, and it was scary for me. But I think it gave me a little bit of guidance. I just kind of caused me to wake up and realize that the life that I had was not the life that I wanted for my daughter. And I was fortunate to have a CASA worker who helped me with the application process into college, and then I was accepted at UC Riverside. And after my first year, I quickly realized that this was not something financially I could afford. I had no income, I had no parental support. I could barely work given that I had a young daughter. She was 3 when I started college. So I just started scouring the web, looking for resources for financial aid, for foster youth, for single parents. I stumbled upon ISF, and it's just really hard finding resources for foster youth. And I just couldn't believe that there was an organization that was based out of Texas that serviced foster youth throughout the country.
Over the past 2 decades, ISF has developed a roadmap of success that enables over 85% of our students to achieve a graduation. We make 4 investments that are critical to their success. It begins with the financial support that enables that student to stay in school. It includes one-on-one mentorship that helps them navigate this critical season of their life. And then there's a leadership development component that equips them to make a difference in their world. And then we bring them on a cross-cultural experience that creates the opportunity to serve fellow orphans in resource-challenged parts of the world. That combination is transformative.
They were super supportive. They provided me the financial aid I needed for the necessities in life. I attended their leadership retreat in the summer twice, and then I got connected with a mentor. So it really felt like a very holistic program. They were touching on all the major topics in my life.
Having a mentor in a student's life is imperative to helping them get through those years in college. When I first met Cheyenne, what really impressed me was her enthusiasm to learn not only more about life in general, but about herself, how she could become a better version of herself.
Yeah, having ISF in my corner was definitely something that helped me realize that I could do it. After college, I graduated. I went to work at a law firm. During the pandemic, I applied to law school, and I got in, and I got into at the University of Connecticut School of Law out in Connecticut, and I just graduated in May 2024, so I am a lawyer.
You could tell there was a real fire in her belly about justice and making a difference in the world, mostly making a difference for her daughter. And I was very impressed by that. Very mature young woman.
I just keep thinking back to undergrad, the statistics were only 2 to 3% of foster youth will graduate from college. And the numbers don't exist for grad school. I just keep thinking like, I shouldn't have succeeded. Statistically, I should not be here. Statistically, my daughter should be in foster care. And I just think it's like when you're not supposed to be somewhere and you're there, you can't help but feel so much gratitude for the people that got you there. Supporting us in this way to help beat those statistics kind of like gives us hope that our beginnings don't determine our outcome. I think the donors, the supporters, like the organizations that are supporting foster youth, such as myself or former foster youth, I think they should know that it is making a real impact in the lives of hundreds of foster youth, thousands of foster youth. And, I'll never forget where I came from. And so I'll continue to give back and give my time, give financially, and it just creates a domino effect.
What I like about ISF is the fact that when we're at an event like we are this evening, the gala, all of the funds that are raised go directly to the student. This money goes directly to the person who's going to be benefited.
I can't believe it. I really can't. I'm still in shock when I tell people that I'm a lawyer. The words come out, but it doesn't feel right. So maybe a couple more times I'll say I'm a lawyer and it'll finally click and I'll believe it.
Stories like Cheyenne inspire us. And the good we get to do is only possible because of the generosity of people like you. And so we want to thank you for your consideration of making an investment in the work that ISF is doing.